Welcome back to Ian Strung Out Guitars, and here's kind of like a off-the-cuff video for the Misery Machine dude and dudette, Yergi and Drewby. Ask what the difference between like a set neck and a bolt-on neck and a neck through was. So I have, well, what I was just making, I have in the living room with a, you can see the New York Dolls autograph there, and the Cramps autograph there, and Doo-Doo here behind it. The guitar I just made, finishing, this is a neck through, okay? So it's one piece of wood, well, in this case it's three pieces of wood, purple heart, maple, purple heart, and it goes all the way through the entire body up to the headstock. So it's a neck through the entire body. Now, that's kind of easy to see. Here's an old BC Rich bitch from '84 that I'm restoring. I just found an old Kaler bridge for it. As you can see, it is one piece maple, and it has two. These are usually walnut stripes. Sometimes they're rosewood. And under the paint was some really awesome work back then. But anyway, this is a neck through too. Now this is thinner. This is like 1.5 inches. And but it has a massive recess cavity, so it's lighter. So those are like, you know, good examples of neck throughs. Set necks are like this Les Paul, okay? Essentially what they've done is taken a body, they've cut it out, you know, carved the top down and everything, and they've cut a channel out here. Now the earlier ones had what they call a tenon, which is a, they still have a tenon, it's just a deep neck set tenon, which went down a little further into the pickup. It's glued in. Now I brought a template in. Julia's gonna kill me because it's like dusty as shit, but I didn't know where else to shoot it because I'm still working on our shop there, so yeah, so it's messy too. Anyway, so here's like an Explorer. This is a typical like Gibson Explorer shape, okay? What you do is once you've cut this body out, all right, as you can see, like I've drawn on it because I made a neck through, what you do is you can take like this template here, line it up over this pickup right here, all right, and then you route this out, like all of this you route out. And then what happens is you take the neck and it sets set neck down in there. So, sorry, you get the whole thing. So that's a set neck. Now that's glued in. So the neck is approximately that deep and it's glued in. Now throughout the years they've made them more and more shallow. So some of them are like not quite past the first pickup. So that's with a lot of the Les Pauls. That's not that great. It really isn't. It's okay. It's not bad. The neck through, I think you get way more sustain and way more resonance. But a set neck is kind of second best. I think you can get a bolt-on neck to sound just about as good though with some brass inserts. I'll show you that in a second. So this is like one of my favorite guitars. This is from the 80s. This is a bolt-on neck. Essentially just like, you said you had a telly and a bass and stuff. This has just four screws. Now I replaced it with these brass inserts. The brass inserts enable you to smash the wood together tighter than you ever could with just wood screws. They were originally made for furniture, and they reverse thread into the guitar, into the guitar neck, and then you put like you know, a washer or a neck plate or anything on, and then you screw it on, and since it's like got a really fine thread, like a fine machine thread, like it's 10/32, just like truss rods, whenever you tighten it, it slowly tightens and smashes the hell out of it. I have a picture of one cut in half. I'll try to post here if I'm able to. Anyway, it makes you able to get that neck on tighter than you ever could with wood screws and not like damage anything, not really even affect the aftermarket sale if it's something that's like ridiculously expensive, like any of the new Fender custom shops and stuff. I mean, you are putting a brass insert in it, and it is making the hole a little bigger, but I mean, that is something that's better. Now, I have no problem with set necks and neck through, or and bolt-on necks. I really love this guitar because it is like, there's no headstock angle though. It's really strange, but it's ridiculously thin and really, really fast. And but once you get down here, you kind of have to deal with this. Even with the strap lock, you have to deal with this. That's kind of a drag. You start to get a little used to it, but you know, it's a hell of a lot easier whenever you have. And that's a problem like Les Pauls have had for years. You still have that like big heel. You can, I've shaved them down. You don't have to have such a massive heel. Now, with shit, I don't have one with, well, I got one over there that has strings on it, but, yeah, as opposed to, say, like this BC Rich, you know, you can get, like, all the way down there, and there's, like, nothing to it, you know, you're all the way down at 24th fret. Now, there is a in-between kind of thing. I made this bass for Julia. It was one of the first basses that I made. I did this in the Moss Rite style. I had to wing it with the neck plate there because they don't make them anymore, and I actually made that out of the old Coca-Cola, like planter bottoms, like from the 70s and 80s. Remember when soda had like, probably not everybody's gonna go, how old are you, dude? Like the bottoms, they had these plastic bottoms on the bottles of like 2 liters and 3 liters and shit, and they're just this black thing that everybody used to like plant plants in and stuff. But anyway, I found one and I used it to cut the truss rod cover out because you can't really find that stuff. Although I put a newer Baptist bridge on it. She wants another pickup. Anyway, the way this is made is the coolest way you can make a bolt-on guitar, I think. Now, it gives you a hell of a lot more tone, hell of a lot more resonance, and I think the construction is far superior. It's something that was came up with in the 60s, and it's a cross between, it's kind of like a set neck, in a way, but a bolt-on. And what it is the neck actually goes down into the body about that far, which is where the pickup is. So whenever you're recessing the cavity to put the bolt-on neck in, it's actually going down into, you know, the pickup cavity, just like a Les Paul or and most of the Explorers and V's and stuff. But there's a problem usually. Whenever the fretboard comes down, it comes down to about, you know, right there. So you got like this hunk of wood there. You have to like route it down so you can put the pickup. So the pickup's actually like laying right over top of, you know, the neck. It's like right over the, you know, end of the neck, which makes it sound pretty much like one piece of wood, especially if you put the brass inserts in. There's nobody doing that right now except me. Like, I can't think anybody else is actually doing it right this second. Like, which is kind of cool, you know? But that's something that, like, really, it gives it a different sound. Like, it just gives it more sustain, more resonance, and it's not a neck through, so, you know, it's not as expensive. But, yeah, it's pretty badass, and I think it's a killer design, and that's what I did with that bass. And that's kind of the way, like, these were made too. You know, this is down here, and right about mid pickup is where the piece of wood that this fretboard is on is like set into. Now, again, that's pretty cool to have, like, but they've made these shorter over the years. Like, they used to call them, like, you know, deep neck tenons, and they came down a lot further, like through the whole pickup. I thought they sounded better. People didn't like them. But they just did it because it's more cost effective. So, yeah, I will get that picture up, and I think I've kind of explained everything. Bolt-on neck, cool, but like better with brass inserts. And set neck, you know, glued in. It could be like anywhere, the tenon could be anywhere from here to here, but it's still like considered a set neck because it's set in and glued. And a neck through is, you know, through the entire body. And then there's kind of the hybrid thing that I did with Julia's base, which is still considered a bolt-on neck, but it still has the tenon deeper and under the pickup, which sounds really cool. So if you want to like upgrade like your telly or anything like that, dude, like or your base, which, you know, that has the base I made her, it has the brass inserts too. They you know, it's not that hard. It's, you know, it's fairly easy, and again, it sounds better, man. It really does. So if you have any other questions, dude, let me know. I think I covered everything. I think I got like a mess of stuff here. If you have any other questions, man. All right, love the show. Thanks for asking, dude.